Hi, I'm Mckenzie. I'm from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. I live there with my husband, Nathan, and my daughter, Daphne, and I plan events for a global tech company. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in 1998. I was in third grade. At that time, luckily, my parents were able to learn at the hospital how to take really great care of me. And as I lived, through high school, they really managed my care. I did a lot on my own, but I always had them there to assist and help with my care. My diabetes kind of took a back seat to my life. So you're doing all the things, right? You're going to class, I was working 2 jobs, I was volunteering, had a lot of different things going on, and really diabetes just wasn't something that I was prioritizing in my life, and that becomes very dangerous with type 1 diabetes. So over the years, my blood sugars were running super high. I would stop for days at a time wearing my insulin pump. As I matured and I started to take better care of myself again and do a much better job day to day. But even more so since starting a family, when you have someone else in the world that depends on you to take care of them, your mindset changes a lot. Diabetes is a very intense disease. It's constant. It's something always on my mind, especially now being a mother. The highs and the lows are very dangerous, depending on what end of the spectrum and at what time. So again, having the tools that I need to take better care of myself is very important to me. That feeling you get when you're that extremely low is terrifying. Your vision starts to go and you think like, okay, if I don't eat one more gummy bear, like this is it. I learned of Gvoke HypoPen. I was very excited about the idea of a pre-mixed glucagon that I could have on me at any time if I were to need it during severe low blood sugar, severe hypoglycemia. Unlike insulin, which you take consistently, you use Gvoke as needed. So I started essentially filling my prescription for Gvoke nearly the day I learned about it. And I learned that in an emergency situation, it's something that can be used when you have severe hypoglycemia to bring you back into a healthy, safe, normal range. A really great benefit of Gvoke is that it is just 2 steps. You take Gvoke out of the package, remove the cap, and it's an auto-injector. You don't have to worry about fumbling with mixing or worrying when you're in a hypoglycemic state where it's already very stressful and scary. To have Gvoke available in those situations is really incredibly important because once you've injected the medication that your body is going to do what it needs to do and you're going to be okay. So it really pulls you out of that very quickly. Severe low blood sugar is really scary. I've had a few experiences where you don't know what's going to happen, which is really hard. So having Gvoke available is very important to me and my family. One instance where I used Gvoke, my daughter Daphne, who was 8 months at the time, and I had gone to visit a friend a few hours away. So we were driving home and I started to feel that little tingle that you get before you know that you are in a situation with low blood sugar. I was very close to an exit, So I was able to take the exit and check my continuous glucose monitor, which read 76 with the arrow going straight down. I treated with all of my low blood sugar snacks that I keep in my car in arm's reach at all times, went into the gas station, got more carbohydrates, suspended my pump, all of these things. And as I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, we are gonna be at this gas station for hours. Check my phone again, 55 with an arrow going straight down. I'm like, this is not gonna work. I then thought, like, I'm gonna problem solve here. We're gonna use Gvoke because that is a tool that I can use to get back on the road and get home safely to my husband with my daughter. I administered the auto injector, and we were able to, pack back up on the car, get home safely in a timely manner. The sun was still shining. To have Gvoke provide the safety of bringing me out of that hypoglycemic state, and then also be able to know that I was going to be able to get us home safely was really incredible. I carry Gvoke with me everywhere I go. So just like my insulin and my tester and my meter and my strips and all these things you have to have as someone with type 1 diabetes, Gvoke is with me all the time. So I also am always telling my friends about it. And typically when I talk to my friends with type 1 diabetes that are adult, I tell them to talk to their doctor about Gvoke, about getting access to it and having it with them. A lot of times, even providers aren't aware of Gvoke. They aren't aware of what the product is, or what the need for it is, the reason to have it. We know as patients with type 1 diabetes, we really have to advocate for ourselves and what we want for our care. So if your doctor isn't aware of Gvoke, I'm sure they know glucagon, but don't be afraid to educate them on it if it's something you feel will help your peace of mind and your life and your safety. It's really important to ask that they educate themselves on things like this. Please talk to your healthcare provider about Gvoke, as there are safety concerns you need to know about. You can see full prescribing information at gvokeglucagon.com.